Hello and welcome to today's English lesson. My name is Stuart. In today's lesson, we are looking at the third conditional tense. Let's go to the intro. Now, as you know, in English, we have various conditional tenses. We have a zero conditional, we have a first, we have a second, and in this lesson, I'm going to show you the third conditional. We also have mixed conditionals, but I'll show you that in another lesson. Now, the third conditional structure is as so. We have an if, we have the past perfect, we have would have, plus past participle. So we use the third conditional tense to talk about something in the past that didn't happen, and it's impossible to change the result. All right? Now, let's have a look at these examples that we have here. The first one. If I had known it was your birthday, I would have bought you a present. If I had known, past perfect, it was your birthday, I would have bought, past participle, you a present. Now, I didn't buy you a present, okay, because I didn't know it was your birthday. So I couldn't buy you a present because I didn't know it was your birthday. Now, that's impossible to change the situation because it's a past event. I could perhaps go and buy this person a present now, but this sentence tells me that at the time I didn't buy a present simply because I didn't know it was that person's birthday. Now the second sentence is a negative structure, okay? So, if I hadn't known it was your birthday, I wouldn't have bought you a present. Now, this is the opposite meaning of the first one. The first one meant that I didn't buy a present, but this negative sentence here means that I did buy a present. But I might not have if I hadn't known it was the person's birthday. If I hadn't known it was the person's birthday, I wouldn't have bought them a present. But I did know, so I did, okay? So it's something that might not have happened if I hadn't known it was the person's birthday. But luckily, I bought the present. And the third one is the question. If you had known it was my birthday, would you have bought me a present? Now, this is more closely related to the first question here. The first question would be me speaking. The third example here would be the person that I didn't buy the present for, if that makes sense. And the person asked me, if you had known it was my birthday, would you have bought me a present? Of course I would have. If I had known, I would have, but I didn't know. Okay, so I didn't buy you a present. Okay. Now those are three examples here of when we use the third conditional structure. So we have a positive sentence, a negative sentence, and a question form. Now we can also substitute if and invert these two. Okay. So we could, for example, get rid of the if. I'll just get rid of this with my fingers. And if we invert these two. So had I known it was your birthday, had I known. So we're substituting the if for had I, and we invert those two. Had I known it was your birthday, I would have bought you a present. Now we can also substitute would for could and might according to the situations. Now I've given a different sentence here. Okay, so let's have a look at this sentence. If you had told me earlier, I could have bought you a present. Or if you had told me earlier, I might have bought you a present. Okay, so it just depends on what we want to say. So we can substitute would for could or might. We can also use, in the third conditional structure, continuous tenses as well. Look at this example. If I hadn't been wearing a seatbelt, I would have died. If I hadn't been wearing a seatbelt, I would have died. But luckily, I was wearing a seatbelt and I didn't die. But if I hadn't been wearing a seatbelt, I would have died. Now, thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any comments, just please leave them below. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please share on social media, Facebook, Google+, or Twitter, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.